The other thing I wanted to get into the video today really quickly also is the idea of chord tones. This is one of the greatest things a guy gave me when I was very young. Play your solos using only chord tones. Try it. That's what he told me. And so when I would show up, he would say, all right, play a solo for me. Here's your song. And he would give me the song. And then I would have to improvise or create a solo. And I could only use the chord tones. And he only let me have 1, 3, 5, and 7. So this was one of the greatest gifts that somebody gave me, because it helped me to really develop a sense of rhythm. Because if you only get 4 notes per chord, you got to be creative with your rhythm to get to the next place. So let's look overhead. Here's my C major 7. That was the wrong thing. There was a mistake. You know, if we were playing in real time, I wouldn't have stopped. But I wanted to make sure that you saw I'm admitting my mistake. It should have been a G7, and I think I was coming down this inversion. So you'll notice I am using inversions of the chords. And these can be really great vehicles too. Wrong note, not allowed at this moment. And you can kind of get the idea. See, I'm letting all of this happen on the video and I'm not editing it. Because my goal is not to impress you. My goal is to get what I have to you. And you can't learn how to improvise if you don't let your mistakes happen, admit they happen, and figure out why they happen. And then you also learn, hey, those mistakes weren't bad. They didn't sound wrong. They're just not in the structure I'm placing upon myself at this moment. So I want to use a specific inversion so I can train my hand or train my ear. So that's why I'm starting with 7. And when I go to my A minor, I'm on 7. Then I go to my D minor, and then I go to my G7. And this is just a way to build vocabulary and also learn the terrain. You know, a lot of times people just don't want to pay that kind of dues to get some technique and some mobility. And that's the only reason that they can't improvise, is because they don't have anything to say. And so, again, don't judge yourself because you can't improvise. Nobody just sits down and starts improvising and it's amazing. You build your life, you listen to music, you put all kinds of things in, you train the sounds you like in, you work with these things over and over, you move them into the other keys. And by the way, we're going to do that too. So don't worry. I'm going to get all this down for you here, and then I'll start showing you how to move these things into other keys and how to transpose your ideas. So just stick with C and enjoy yourself for a little while. If you want to go on to other keys, by all means do it. But if it seems like too big a job, or it's like, wow, how would I get to this? Or how do I get the technique? Or how do I play in E flat when it doesn't feel like C? All those things I'm going to help you with. So in the meantime, keep working with this. And let's take one more look at this now. So we have our C, and we're going to play this, notice that really nice voicing. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I do this, sometimes I like this. That's a big full one. Oops. And then sometimes I just like the nice 3-note one. Now, let's talk about the inversions again here. So we did this one. What does this sound like? So this is 7, 1, 7, 5, 3. Then I'm going to go 7, 1. So this is 7, 1. Then I'm going to transpose that this way. 7, 1, 5, 3. That's on the A minor. Then when I get to my D minor, it's going to be 7. Same exact notes, numbers, configuration. Or you could even say it's the same inversion as these others. It's a first inversion D minor 7. And then I go to my G7, and then you'll see 7. Now, one of the things that's making this sound like jazz, you'll notice if I just played the right hand, it might sound classical or not really like jazz. But those jazz voicings kind of enhance it or open it and make it sound more like jazz. And that's why they're great voicings to use. Now, again, I made a mistake in there, and in order to salvage the music and keep it going, I kept going. So I'm trying also to show you how do you learn to improvise. Well, I didn't stop for my mistake. I tried to keep going and get to the next one, and even if I missed it, I tried to keep going around again to get another shot at it. So I'm always trying to get the idea in that I decided to work with. And eventually, after a few times, you're going to nail it and have no trouble. So it's always nice for me when I try to explain these things, when I haven't done it in a long time, then we're kind of equal because I don't have it in my hand any more than you do. So when you see me make a mistake, but you see how I go past it and keep going, and I'm not weirded out or ashamed of it, it can be that way for you too. So keep on going, and let's take one last look at this before we end the video. So another inversion, another idea. Here's an idea. Let's do this. That's a nice thing to do. Now we'll go to our A minor. Notice I'm trying to get my hand out of the way. So this is pretty powerful and stark. You know, that might not be the best note always to stop on, but eventually we want to learn to play through anyway. So we want to keep our idea, and that's what we're working on. And then we notice we're on 7. So we could use guide tones and the arpeggios. Make sure you get that ending. I don't even know what I did. My pentatonic scale. A lot of little things in here today, and you can see my mistakes, and I'm really happy about that because many jazz musicians are making mistakes as they play, but you can't tell because a mistake isn't always a wrong note. Sometimes it's just a note you were going for and you missed, and you shift and keep it going. And that is the beauty of improvisation. But you can't judge your offering, or you can imagine if you missed the note you were going for, then you failed. It's bad. It's not good. You ruined it. See, all of those are negatives that simply don't apply to improvisation. Improvisation is just being you on the fly, and the more you train your hands, the more you'll be able to accomplish what you're going for and to say what you're going for with authority. And remember, don't judge. Okay? See you next time.